Unfortunately, PFF's Black Friday sale is no longer going on, but we have a brand new discount to give you guys right now. That is a 30% off discount this holiday season with the promo code HOLIDAY30 to get 30% off a PFF Plus subscription. You get access to our player prop tool that can help you make back whatever you pay for PFF Plus and then some. It can also help you win a fantasy football championship this year. Get the same grades and analytics that every single NFL team uses and every single college football team uses as well. And you get access to the best mock draft simulator on the planet for the 2026 NFL Draft. Again, Holiday 30 to get 30% off a PFF Plus subscription right now. Western Michigan against Miami of Ohio in the MAC championship game in Detroit. Actually, it's the first neutral site game we're talking about today at Ford Field, 12 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN on Saturday. Miami back in familiar territory, while Western Michigan is looking for their first MAC title in 9 years. The Redhawks have now made it to 3 straight MAC championship games, and they last won the conference in 2023. Head coach Chuck Martin will try to deliver the program its 18th MAC title overall with a win on Saturday. Western Michigan, meanwhile, is back in the MAC championship game for the first time since 2016, which was also the final year their head coach, PJ Fleck, was with the program before he took over the Minnesota job. The Broncos won that game, taking down Ohio at Ford Field. A win for Western Michigan would be its 4th MAC championship in program history. These two teams did meet back in October, with Miami winning 26-17 at home in that game.
Absolutely, and Miami's got quite a different dynamic right now with their quarterback situation, starting redshirt freshman Thomas Gostkowski after Daquan Finn's season ended with an injury, but they've won their last 2 games. They managed to win a 3-way tiebreaker, so I think to get into second place here in this conference, but this has really been a wide-open conference all year, and these are the last 2 teams standing. Western Michigan with the best record, but like you said, a neutral site game here in Detroit. It's going to be a fun matchup, and they're going to try to get their revenge here too, because I believe that was Western Michigan's only conference loss, that game to Miami. So trying to get revenge here, trying to get themselves, like you mentioned, the first MAC title for them since PJ Fleck was there.
Yep. So you have the Miami of Ohio offense in this one. What you know when the Redhawks have the ball in this game?
So watching just the 2 starts we've seen of redshirt freshman Thomas Gostkowski here from Miami, and what he is, he's a guy who likes to hold on to the football a little bit and sling it deep down the field, kind of a low percentage passer. How about more than a 15-yard average depth of target through 2 starts for him, and he's going to want to try to get over these zone defenses of Western Michigan. They play a lot of zone defense. They want to keep things in front of him, but if he wants to hold on to the football too long, he's going to have a hard time, because Western Michigan's pass rush is really good, led by the edge rusher Nadeem Tucker. 51 pressures, 12 sacks this season. He is 7th in the nation in pass rush grade. The only player in the country with more sacks, Texas Tech's David Bailey. This Western Michigan pass rush led by Tucker is a real problem. They're 31st in the nation as a team in pass rush grade. They are top 25 in pressure rate, pass rush win rate, and sacks. 12th most sacks in the nation. If Gostkowski doesn't get rid of the football quickly and I think attack the seams of this defense, that's something Daquan Finn did very well against Western Michigan, was not necessarily get the football over the top, because they run a lot of deep zone coverages, but get it into the seams, work the middle of the field right around the hash mark a little bit. Gostkowski can have success, but he's got to be a little more accurate underneath, and he's got to get rid of the football quickly. I think that's going to be a big thing. How often can Western Michigan's pass rush, Tucker and that defensive line, disrupt Gostkowski's rhythm and make him break outside the pocket and make throws underneath zone coverage?
Yeah, so you're looking at the quarterback as a passer for Miami of Ohio. I'm looking at Western Michigan's quarterback as a runner in this game, because Brock Lowry has been really dynamic on the ground this year for the Broncos offense. He has 971 rushing yards this year. That leads all Western Michigan players and is also 8th among all quarterbacks in the country this year. He's also tied for 5th among all quarterbacks in America with 14 rushing touchdowns, and also his 89.7 rushing grade is 2nd among all quarterbacks in America. Miami is only 89th in run defense grade this year, but the Redhawks did do a pretty solid job of containing the Broncos' backfield back in their matchup in Week 9. Brock Lowry had 97 rushing yards and a fumble in that game in Western Michigan's loss, while the rest of Western Michigan combined for only 50 total rushing yards in that game. Brock Lowry also only had a 54.8 passing grade in that loss to Miami, and it's very unlikely that the Broncos will get much going through the air in this game against a Miami pass rush. A lot like Western Michigan, Dalton. Miami is 4th in pass rush grade this year too. So I think Western Michigan has to run the ball better than what they did back in Week 9 against Miami of Ohio, and that starts with quarterback Brock Lowry.
I think a similar vibe. Remember last year when we talked about this matchup against Ohio, and it was Parker Navarro coming in here against Miami, and something I highlighted in that game was, okay, Parker Navarro's ability to run the football at quarterback, as well as last year with Ohio, Anthony Tyus, and they ran the ball for 238 yards in that game. You get a similar vibe here with Western Michigan's offense. It's very run-heavy. They want to stay out of obvious passing situations against this team. And one thing Miami did earlier in the year against Western Michigan was get ahead early, right? Yep. And if they can force them into those obvious passing situations to come from behind, then I think Western Michigan has a problem there. Can Western Michigan match the physicality of Miami's defense? Can they create those holes in the run game, create those explosive plays? Because if they get into, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, I think they are going to have some issues here with this Miami defense.
Definitely. All right, Dalton. Will Western Michigan win their first MAC title in 9 years, or will Miami of Ohio win their second MAC title over the last 3 years?
Fascinating matchup, and the one big variable, again, I think is Gostkowski, the redshirt freshman quarterback for Miami, right? If it was Daquan Finn, I think I would very confidently actually pick Miami to win in a similar fashion they did the first time. I'm gonna get it closer, but I'm actually going to take the Red Hawks anyway. I'm going to take Gostkowski to make a few explosive plays. He can move outside the pocket a little bit, and I just think this defense is fantastic. I don't think it's a great matchup for Western Michigan's offense. They have to be able to run the football well on early downs, but I think it's a hard-fought, classic defensive MAC game, and I'm taking Miami 20-17.
I have it 24-21. I have Western Michigan winning their first MAC title since 2016. And yes, Miami did beat Western Michigan back in October, but like Dalton mentioned, that was back when Daquan Finn was still with the program. Now that he's gone, I think the Broncos are going to win a very close defensive battle at Ford Field and, like I said before, win their first MAC championship in 9 years. So I have Western Michigan beating Miami 24-21. All right,